Welcome back, my friends, to the bunker, the swing trading bunker. I'm Jason, and we had an exciting day in the market today. We had two positions that went ahead and closed out on us on that push up, and let's go over that and maybe do a scan tonight and see if we can find two more positions to look into for tomorrow. So here we go. Now, as you can see, our Microsoft position is no longer with us, and also our IGV, I believe is what it was. Let's go look. Yeah, that's what. Oh, okay. IOLO and IGV. Wow, we lost three positions today, and we put one on, and I will talk about that in a minute. But so our Microsoft was like up 80%, and I went ahead and closed it out. And IGV was the same thing. It was up to 80%, so I went ahead and closed that one out. And OKLO pushed up to like 65, 70%, and I went ahead and let that one go. So we closed out three positions. That's going to open up about 50% of my risk in my portfolio. So we're definitely going to have to look to put some trades on. I usually look on Thursday to put some trades on, but well, tomorrow is Thursday, so I'm just doing my scan a day early. So let's kind of go over the positions. Right now, Walmart, it's up 32%. It's kind of been doing a little sideways action, but sideways is fine with our strategy. As long as we've identified our little, which is my what I'm looking for in my trades, like this is the daily. I'm looking for it to set a high, around a 20-day high, and then kind of pull back to a little bit, and then kind of make a run up to that with some volume. We got a little bit of increased volume. And then I usually try to sell my premium as it's coming back up. That's when it'll show up on my scan. And then we hold it until hopefully it breaks out. But if it doesn't break out, as long as it stays above where we sold our put, then we're good. And our put is at 125, looks like. So let's go back to here. That puts us at right there. So we're at 129. No, our probability of profit is right now. This is my 30 days. So I would normally roll this one out if we didn't have earnings. But since we're coming up on earnings, I'm probably going to go ahead and close this. Hopefully we'll get up to our 50% profit on that one. So we may hold that a little bit longer. But if we get up around 50%, which is what I'm looking for, we'll go ahead and close that one out. I think I've got my order set up for around 55%. Just to kind of pay for the commissions and transaction fees that we get with selling premium. GIS, we still are not. This is just going sideways. Where's our? It's still downtrending. At least we've kind of maybe found a bottom. Hopefully, we'll see how that goes. Let's see. If I look at our option, we're definitely in the money on that one. Rolling it out. If we can roll out for a profit, we will. If I can't, then I'll wind up owning 100 shares of that one, and then we'll sell. Like I said last time, we'll sell covered calls against it if we do. That's the normal wheel strategy when you're selling just the puts. It does lock up more capital though. As far as Palantir, here we are. We are up about. That's today. So we're break even on this one. Yeah, right there. So we must be 135, and we've got 23. So this one is potential for us to roll out in time. Let's take a look and make sure. Oh, we're already May 4th. We're already on the other side of the earnings. I would say that rolling it out in time even more probably wouldn't hurt us too bad. Let's look at our chains and see. Yeah, this is our first time. We haven't rolled this one out, I don't believe. No. Well, we'll have to look at that one. You know, that may be one we just have to take off and not have to worry about it. Be interesting. We'll have to check back on that in a couple days. 21 days is usually, I think, the tasty trade rule for managing. So we may let that go into a little bit, into get a little closer to our earnings. See if we get like a run up before that. Oracle's up. We're doing pretty good. What is it, 14%? Our share strikes at 155. If that's what we're looking for. Like I said, once again, this is what we look for when we do our scan. We're looking for a stock that's got kind of a order flow. It's kind of changing its momentum and going. Now this one, normally my other limit is to be over the 200 daily, and this one isn't. But it did have an area of support, and it is moving in the right direction. And we got our premium, was it 155, was it? Yeah, 155. So we're around right here. It's selling at 187, so that's a good potential for profit on that one. Probably get our 50% on that one, no problem. That one's got plenty of time, so I'm not really worried about that one. And the earnings, did we look at the earnings? I don't think so. Earnings, we got it right after earnings. Earnings not till June, so we'll have that one for a while. That should be a good one for us. Tilray. Now this is the one. Well, let's go over what we closed today. Microsoft. It's been making a push, pulling back, making a push, pulling it back, and today it went ahead and made another big push. And I had it only it was going to expire in 3 days, so I got most of the premium out of that one on that push today to 32. And that's why we closed that one out. And we look at the chains. So we're up for the year 154 on that one. Say thank you very much, Mr. Gates, and see you soon. Once again, this one is below our 200 moving average, so it's just one of the ones I have that I track separately. That's not a part of my scan when I'm looking for new stocks. It's just stocks that I'm more familiar with. So. And when especially technology stocks have been very actively being traded over the last couple of years. The other one was IGV, which is my software ETF that I sold options in, and we closed that one out for $66. That was a nice, and that was part of, like I said, Microsoft is one of the bigger names in that one, and we broke out of that resistance level today, and with that it allowed me to close that one out for a profit. And OKLO, I think that had a big push today. There was news about energy sectors. We'll see in a little bit when I show you my scan results. Energy sector has been one of the better sectors this year. Even before the war started, energy was pretty hot option. But for OKLO, we're up for the year 137, and we made 48 on that trade that I closed out today. So doing pretty good on that one. Overall, the portfolio, let's see, let's go to year to date. We're up after fees $613. My weekly goal is 1% on my account, so that's how much premium I try to collect a week. That's going to give me something crazy like a 50% return over the year, so I don't expect to be anywhere that high. But normally I do about 35%, which is double what the pros get on most days, so that's not too bad. And sometimes it's better. Like I'm running pretty hot right now. I think I'm like 14%, somewhere around there in my portfolio earnings. And what I do is I continue to only trade that amount, my 13,000 that I have in the account, until I get to a point to where I have a stock that I'm It's kind of my median stock that I trade, Walmart. And so once I get to an amount, like you'd go out my 150 days and you'd go look at what at the money call would cost, about $1,200. So once I'm up $1,200, then I will include that amount, which would be make it about 14,000, into my 1% that I'm trying to shoot for premium. So that would be just basically another position in Walmart, for instance, that I could carry. In the meantime, I put it in a ETF called Wheel, and it's WEEL. And what this one averages about 15% a year. Like I said, this is not financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. But it's an ETF that employs the wheel strategy, of course, that I trade, and they pay out quarterly dividends and about 60 cents to 75 cents a share. So this is where I keep my money, my profits, until it is enough to where it's ready for me to employ my strategy, and then I'll take it out of this and put it to work. So that's kind of my profit. So it kind of gives me, while it's in that flux period between 0 and basically the 1,200, it's gaining 15% interest. So that's kind of how I do it. So at least it's better than a savings account. Was it like 5 times a savings account? At least 3 times more than what you get at a savings account. So. Now Tilray, my brother, God bless him, he loves this, and he just thinks this is going to be a world beater eventually. But there was news on it today that the administration is trying to recategorize, which it's been trying to be recategorized marijuana since the 70s. Most people believe it was it's just being recategorized more as a painkiller than a hallucinogen. You could go and look that up and see what the news was on it. But anyway, the administration is supposed to recategorize it, which made a little bit of a bump on the stock. As you can see, that big green candle right there, it went up nearly 2 points. And overnight trading, I think it's up, it's at 8.4 right now, somewhere around there. So we might hopefully we get a run up to 15. So this is kind of more of a just a thing so I can share along with my brother. So I went ahead and sold 3 puts in it at $6. So as long as we stay above that latest support line down here, about 6, then I'll go ahead and collect my, I think it was $30 a piece. Yeah, I sold 3 of them. So 60 days from now, if it stays here or above, pushes, I'm looking to catch 50%. But so that's just kind of how I normally sell premium. If not, then I'll wind up owning 300 shares of it. The other side of it is I went out and did a leap. What was it, all the way to June? Basically my usually 160 days, 150 day leap, and I bought. That's down here. No, I went to the end of the year this time. That's about 6 months. 8 months, and bought 14 right up here around 15. So hopefully in the next 8 months we'll get up around that number, and then I'll be able to collect some profit on that one. And that was only, what are they, 125 piece. So basically it's a $2.50 bet on, $250 bet on that one. But so that's kind of how I'm going to play that one. And so that's my portfolio for as of today. But like I said, we're at 50% right now, so we need to look to maybe pick up another position. I know that I have got 2 technologies, and my max is 3. So I was a little bit over, and I'm glad those other ones closed out. And let's go ahead and look at the scanning that I did and see if we can pick out a stock. Let's see. Moving on over to FinViz. I don't know if any of you use it or not, but it's pretty handy. So I ran my scan. If you want to see my settings, just let me know in the comments and I can do a video on that. I may already have a short on my site. You can find it, but I can do a more in-depth video on it. So like I said, what we're looking for, and after my scan, is I'm looking for a pattern where we're doing this little U-shaped pattern. So we've kind of pushed through another resistance level, and now we've kind of pulled back. A lot of times I like it to pull back and stop at that level, but not always does. Sometimes it pulls back even further depending on market conditions and whatnot. So this one's been trending down, NVIDIA, but it's a pretty popular stock. But if you could see, it wouldn't have really worked here, although the ATR is 5. So if we would have been, caught it right here, we would have been okay, because you want to try to catch it at the bottom of, technically it's a Darvas box. Take the high, you pick the low, and you create a box, and you wait for it to break out. Now in this case, it broke down, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. I call it a U shape, but really it's building what's called a Darvas box. If you want me to do a video on that, let me know in the comments. I can definitely do that, but that's kind of what I'm looking for. So like here, we hit a new high, and we pulled back, and then we pulled back up, so we break that trend. So that would have created a Darvas box there, and then we broke down again, and now we hit the bottom, come up to this high, and we haven't pulled back yet. So we've been still going up. So we technically have not created a new box after this one. So high, low, and then we look for a breakout. We didn't get it. High, low, we didn't get it. We broke down. So now we'd come up at high, but we haven't broke down yet. That was kind of a breakdown, maybe, but usually I like to have like 3 to 5 days of that kind of price action, which is more of what we're getting right here around that 200 mark. And of course it broke all this previous resistance. So this could be coming back, testing this previous resistance level, and we might make a run to all-time highs. So I really like that one. I think 195 on NVIDIA might be one to go with. So let's go look at what that looks like on our, back to Tasty Trade, and let's look at that one. Let's go to NVIDIA. Let's look. So there's NVIDIA. Like I said, there's that previous, like right there, that area here is definitely your previous highs. We broke through, we come back and we tested it, and we kind of busted it again. But what we really like is a pullback to like right there, 197, 195, like 197, 196 area. So I will see, I could put an alert. Let's go ahead and put an alert for an NVIDIA. We'd like to see it less than what, 197.5. Let's go ahead and create an alert there. So now when we get this pullback down into that area, that would be a good time for me to put my put spread on. And we were probably, like I said, we've got earnings way out 23, so we'll probably do we could do a 2-week one, a bi-weekly. I usually do them in weekly, a bi-weekly, or the monthly. That's usually my 3 credit spreads. It really depends on how much credit you're getting. The IV rank on this guy is, IV rank is at 30, and we like to see it around 50. It's just had a good run, so a lot of that extrinsic value is no longer there. Let's see. So tomorrow, that would be Friday. Let's go at 9 days, May 1st. May the 4th be with you. Oh. I think we'll do. Oh, let's see. Vertical put, go. Short put, and we like our strikes. My delta, 14 days. I think it'd be 16 days, wouldn't it? Yeah, we want 16 days if we're going to do a bi-weekly. We need to move my expiration out in time. That puts me 16 days. There we go. And like I said, my delta, I usually like, that's a $5 wide. And I usually like my delta to be around the 20. So 90, 185. And what were we looking at there? Yeah, see, so we're way down here. That should be pretty protected. We're looking at 73 cents. What are we getting if we risk less? 41 cents. A lot of times, ooh, going down after market. Well, now we got to factor that in. That would be interesting trade if we can get around 70 cents for that one. It may have to push it back down tomorrow, but that's kind of what we're looking at. I think a 2-week trade, because there's 2 days left in this week, and then 2 weeks should be 16 days. So probably that's what we're looking for. About 73 cents. That's not too bad, and maybe we'll get a run up to all-time highs before for earnings. Got a 70% pop. Pretty good. Risk 5. I kind of probably prefer. That's more technology too, isn't it? Decisions. Let's go back to the scanner and see if we can find another one. But that's how I kind of would find a stock, looking for that kind of thing, that setup that's starting to feel like a real tight Darvas box. We're looking for a breakout, so we'll keep that on tabs. Apple, they're running on news for the new CEO coming in, but this is the shape I'm looking for, right? We're over the 200. We've looped down with the market, and now we're pushing back up, and now we've kind of trended size a little bit below the 20-day there, and we're looking for the breakout to go to 280. So that's fine for us. It's a technology one, but let's go look at the setup on Apple real quick. Let's go ahead and take a gander. I have these on my watch list. I don't know why I'm looking. So same thing. Oh, their earnings is in 7 days. We may save that for an earnings trade. I don't know. Usually, yeah. Let's see what we get out of that one. Let's move my strikes up. About a $5 wide. We get about 50 cents in 7 days. A little too much risk in technology, though. That's not a bad little trade for a weekly. So we definitely, because we're only doing, let's see, my goal is 160, so that would be as $50. A lot of times, like I said, I hold my weeklies, usually my bi-weeklies, till expiration, or till they get around 75 to 90% profit. I hold them a little bit longer because I don't get as much premium for the time duration. And that just kind of covers the cost of the commissions for selling options, especially because you're costing you $2 every time when you sell that contract. Puts only cost you $1 plus the fee, but selling two, that's, if you're only making 50 cents, $2 is what, 4% of your trade. So you definitely can get expensive. Apple's one to look at. I'll look at that tomorrow during the day. Let's go back and look at our screener again. So Amazon, that one looped, already broke off, but it's going sideways here near all-time highs. That might be a fun one. Once again, it's technology. So this one, computer hardware, it looks like it's right at a resistance level. I never traded that one. Rocket Lab. Oop. That's a big pullback. It cost several Darvas boxes to hold, broke down, hold, broke out. There we go. More technology. Google's a good setup. 339, setting at all-time highs. Kind of pulled back. That's a pretty good spot for that one. Let's see, Cisco. That one's already broke out. See that little loop right there? That's what you want to catch. That's beautiful right there. So we pushed up and we pulled back off of that 20-day movement high. And then you would have set it up right there, and then boom, off you go. You could even buy shares on that one. That's kind of how Darvas made his money, is he would see that and an increase in volume. Like he would look for a volume candle like this for a breakout. Of course, that one didn't break out, but he would look for an increased volume in this area and looking for a breakout high, and then continue to add every time it did it again. So if we got a breakout type of thing. FCX. Now this is already broke out. See, we got that pullback the way where the market went. Now we're kind of trading sideways, but you're pulling back into previous all-time high. That's a good spot for selling premium. What's the ATR? Let's just look at that one. That might be a good one for us. Let's switch back over to Tasty. Let's see, what was that? FCX. Freeport McMoran. Yeah. Our earnings was tomorrow before the bell. April 23rd. So it's either in the morning or it's after the bell. Well, a little late for that one. Moving right along. Let's go back. SLB. There we are. SLB. That's energy sector. That's looping around. Look at that. Market cap 58. Average volume 19 million. That's a trader. All right. I'm your Huckleberry. Let's go. SLB. I see based on that one. Coming up, broke out, pulled back into that range, tried again. So now we're coming back on all-time highs. Did we do around that support? Sold. Somebody's selling up there. That might be. We'll see what the premium's like. It's liquid. Okay. What's its IVR? Ooh, 79. Hey, that's a candidate right there. Oh. 2 days earnings. Dang. That's a bummer. That would have been a good one. Usually, like around earnings time, it's better to sell ETFs because, of course, they're a little less volatile around earnings. Go back to the screener. We may not be able to find one today. Let's see, Google. That's more tech. Page 2. The rest of the story. Aero Defense. That's trending. It's 13 million. It's been doing good. Probably from the Artist 2 mission. Aerospace and Defense. Probably has something to do with that. Planet Labs, like Rocket Labs. I wonder if they're similar. But that's been on a pretty good trend. I bet PL probably doesn't have good options. Let's see. 3 out of 4. IVR is at 59. Earnings not till June. That's kind of what we're looking for. Earnings out of the way. If it was doing a monthly, but if you're doing a weekly or 16 days, we'll do a bi-weekly. That's what we're looking for. Say go. We want up here. Not much juice on these bad boys, is there? So if we did a $3 wide, be 42. That's about what I normally get for a weekly. 42. If I go $5, 65 cents. I like that one. PL. Aerospace. Let's see what the option is out in here. Would be about 1100, so that wouldn't take up much. It's about what Walmart area. Speaking of Walmart, I could sell another one in that one. Earnings around here. Walmart's been trending up. It just looped and pulled back. See, Walmart's I probably will go with Walmart. I've been doing pretty good with Walmart. I'm up 253 for the year on that one, so it's been trending or sideways, which is perfect with me as long as I stick to my setup. So that might be a good one to sell premium to, probably around the 120 if we were looking at it. So go. And we'll move our strikes up. $3 wide, maybe a $5 wide, so be a 12. That's not very much. It's clear. Try that again. Like if you knew it was gonna, if you knew, we don't know anything, but if we're pretty sure it was going to go up from here, you could do it at the money, you'd get much more premium. Of course, you have a lot more risk for it to go in the money. We're looking at right there. That's about, I don't know what was going on. See, they're 50 cents. That's about right. Sometimes sell them for 3 and sell a couple of them. But like I said, around 80%. Sometimes we'll take a little more stable, doesn't move as much. 65 cents for 4, 50 cents. Where's that? 24.13. That's a pretty good trade right there. That's normally what I would do for my weekly or my bi-weekly. I bet you the weekly probably is around 50 cents as well, maybe 30, 40 cents. So that's probably what I'll look at tomorrow. Put a little more into Walmart. I don't have many in that sector. Just one. So I can put 2 more into Walmart, maybe Costco. What? How about Costco? What do you do at Costco at 16? Let's go. That's a $5 wide. See, I can go way out for it. When's its earnings? Not till they have. Now this one is dividends. That usually the stock pushes down. It's a good day with earnings out here. That's a good day to see it pull back, because it's going to pull down when they pay out earnings. So if it's moving up and you get an earnings play, you might be able to get it at an even lower area of your box. So like we're up, we pulled back down, now we're back up. So we're in the Darvas box right here. We'd like to sell premium at the lower end for it to going up, since it's in a bullish pattern. It's over the 200. So that might be one to do, but I'll wait till after May before I do that, because you're definitely going to get pushed down. So I'd like to get a better, closer to a support level for that one. Well, anyway, that's kind of my update and kind of my thinking on what I'm going to look at tomorrow. And I'll log back on and let you know which positions I put on and how my portfolio looks then. If you would like to know more about anything I talked about, be sure and let me know in the comments down below. Really thank you for joining me, and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Take care now. Bye-bye then.